Hello, everybody. Good morning. Thank you for joining. It's Vasily, all the way from the Netherlands, Southern Tower. Yeah, um, there is a very weird weather today. I hope in your locations it's better, but this will not this will not ruin my very very warm and very Christmas mood today. Um, I'll be today your speaker, host of that talk, and you can write your questions, comments to the YouTube translation or into the chat of the VR community platform. No worries, I will see everything and I will do my best to answer your questions after my presentation. So let's get it started. Let's share the presentation. Yeah, thank you so much. So I want to talk with you guys today about personal experience. Yeah, let's. This is not me, right? There's not mistakes, no mistakes, only experience, only lessons learned, and this is what my talk is about today. Before we begin, I want to say a few words is that this talk is a really challenge to me because I was trying to make something interesting, tell something interesting about very simple things. So today there won't be no complicated or complex things. Yeah, but I hope you will like the story. And this is about my personal experience. Your situation might be different, but I hope some insights will be useful. And one more time, thank you for being with me today. A few words about me. My name is Vasily Vanin, and I'm a solution architect at EPAM. My field is mostly whatever is related to the front end, mobile a little bit. But I didn't want to make this talk alone today, so I invited my assistant, and from time to time, he will be appearing and helping me with that presentation. Okay? And I I cannot see your eyes, but I see this question in your eyes. So I think before starting telling you about my mistakes, I should explain why Astra, and the answer is very simple because Astra is just cool. Yeah. Okay, understand. Not enough to choose technology. So I will tell you a little story so you understand how we came up with this fact. And I want to tell you about the project, but unfortunately, I cannot show you neither development version nor mockups today. But using some blackmail methods, I managed to at least get one slide to show you how it looks. Yeah, so this is content publishing platform with personalization. Uh, yeah, with various content types like videos, events, some articles, and um, I think we will add something more in future. And another important part about the project is a project team, and this project is being developed as a part of research and development activity, mostly by some enthusiasts of very different seniority levels. But despite the project is ready activity, it follows all the rules of real business projects. So it has a customer, a project leadership, managers, and a project team with architect, developers, designers, testers. Of course, this kind of team has some implications, something good, like the fact that we can use whatever we want, any technologies that we would like, we can try, we can explore. That's why we exist. But since this is non-production project, people are working as as much as they can. Yeah, so it's just few hours a week, sometimes even nothing. We cannot purchase expensive infrastructure, and unfortunately, big number of rotations in our team. Yeah, people are coming, leaving. This is happening very frequently. A few main features of the project. Again, remember I'm talking about reasons to choose the technology. So features, they really help us with that, because we choose technology to implement some features, and not every feature matters when you choose front-end technology. For example, list of favorites don't matter, but personalized feeds, they matter very much on your technology. And besides functional requirements, there are some non-functional requirements, right? They tell us to be friendly to the crawlers, friendly to screen readers, achieve some web vitals metrics. And if you look into that requirements, yeah, and you can think that maybe a static site will work here. Yes, it could, but remember, we had functional requirement about personalization, and with static site generation, it will be very hard for us to generate personalized content for every user. Yeah, so I looked towards server-side rendering. So this looks like a suitable um, technology for us. And after small research, we picked top three candidates that could work for us. And we didn't want to use Vue this time. Really, nothing personal. We just decided that will be easier for us to find developers with React experience. And given that fact that we are going to use React, what should we choose? Next.js or Astro? Of course. Of course, it's Astro, but one more thing. I told you already about the team, and this is very important. We made the proof of concept, we looked into Astro, and we liked it. Team said they want to work with this technology, and who am I to disagree? Yeah, who am I? So we picked Astra, and this is what we absolutely love. So one more time, with Astra, we can implement our functional requirements, no issues with our NFRs. It supports React because we wanted React syntax. It's very simple, and team loves it. Yeah, it's just cool. So that's why Astra. And before we begin with the mistakes, I need to share with you just a little info, just tell you about the components, right? So I will be touching some external components, so you need to know what they are. And there is application with SSR. It's connected to headless CMS. There is a search index, some recommendation engines, data cassettes, and identity provider. So quite a zoo, but should be not that hard to manage with that. Also, I defined some key principles that help me to make decisions. And the first one is simplicity. Since we have many developers coming to our team, I thought that it would be good if everything for them will work just after they run in PM start. And PM start, and that's it. I hate these puzzles when you need to run 10 Docker containers, then you need to go to the forest, kill somebody to get some credentials from some remote service, hate all those things. So in PM start, and here you go. Should be cheap. We cannot waste resources on something non-essential. Yeah, because our resources are limited. And we need to be efficient. So all the decisions that we make, they should help us to release as soon as possible. Yeah. And now we are ready. Now you are ready to hear about my mistakes. And guess what can be the first one? Yeah, it's not related to Astra or to the technologies, it's about the content model. We are the project, we are project about the content, we are content publishing platform. And I thought that, okay, content is, so we picked headless CMS to create content models. And with headless CMS, it's very easy, right? You don't need to, you can always go to the headless CMS, you can click through the fields, you can add more content types, remove content types, add fields, remove fields, translate fields, do whatever you want. So why just don't do this in parallel with all the development? Not a problem, we are flexible, we are good. And I'm not the one who did this. This is a case from real life. People have a lot of languages, a lot of locations, a lot of websites they want to migrate, and they already did a front end without even thinking about the content model. My experience shows that this is wrong, and here is why. So when we started doing this, there were many questions about what is really content here. Maybe this, maybe all of this. Not a problem to define. We don't know, but we should look to our requirements, right? What parts of the website do we want, or the web application do we want to edit through headless CMS? What can be hard coded? It's something that our customer knows. But anyway, we need to answer these questions. Another example, which is more interesting, this is sketch of our feed. And you see like variety of content types, article, video, and should we create a separate content type for everything or no? Again, something that we need to discuss. Yeah, and those questions, they are being asked by the team, and everyone sees this in their own way. Yeah, and it's quite hard to came to some agreement. And even this was proposed, like, okay, we can optimize our models and use video duration and estimated reading. We can use the same field for that. Yeah. Sounds, I don't know, even if it's smart or not. Again, need to do some analysis to decide. And also, don't forget, we are not only displaying content, there are editors. And imagine a very simple use case just to prioritize some items, mark them as editor choice. How would they do that? Again, there is no perfect solution. We can either create a new content type, separate one, and just make a relation to the content, or we can leave some checkbox in the content type, but it might be hard to find these articles or videos among very big number of items. And all of this really not a problem. We just need to do some analysis. And this is with what I came up with. Yeah. It will take me a lot of time to explain every single part of that circle, but I want to just point out that I understood that this is iterative process. So you analyze your use cases, you suggest content model, and then you evaluate, and it doesn't work. So you run it from the very beginning. It doesn't work again, but already looks better. And you do that until you're happy. But one thing here that I want to touch is the point number 2. What are use cases, in my opinion? Yeah. And use cases is everything that you can do with your content. And here you can see that first 3 items are straightforward. Yeah, it's about the displaying, but 3 items in the bottom, not that obvious to everybody. Yeah, because we are doing with content more actions. We need to send it in some shape. What is the shape, by the way? What fields are we going to send to the search index? Right? How do we use this content in the recommendations? We need to answer all those questions. Again, not hard, but takes time, and use cases are number of use cases are much bigger than you can think about in the start. So this is what I learned from this mistake. Making a good content model really takes a lot of time, so don't underestimate it. Just plan it properly. This is what I have to do, because this is how it impacted my project. While I'm coming up with a content model, my team is blocked. They are waiting and waiting and waiting until I figure out what is my perfect content type. And already wasted 2 sprints, and 2 sprints more for sure I will waste. Yeah, so imagine that's a month. Yeah, that's crazy. This could have been done earlier, and maybe we would waste less time. So next time I will be careful. All right, mistake number 2. And there's nothing about Astro. Yeah, nothing about Astro. And won't be any mistakes related to Astro. Astro is just cool. I love it and faced no issues with it. But what I consider as my second mistake is React. Yeah. Everything is good about the React. I love React. Team loves React. We love React syntax. But here's what the problem. This is example from Astro documentation. I hope you familiar with Astro a little bit, and you remember that one of the good features of Astro is interactive islands, and it's some dynamic parts of your page that been executed on the content, some buttons, forms, maybe some animation, which is done by JavaScript. And obviously those parts are good to be written in React, because React, it's a super framework. It perfectly fits to dynamic JavaScript. Actually, that's why it was created by the Facebook. Yeah. But we don't use it only for dynamic components. We use it everywhere. Yeah. So our static components, also React components. Good or not, don't know, because if you look into the list of my interactive elements, there are not that many. And really, I'm not sure if everything will be implemented by us. Something we will just reuse. And here's what I ask myself. Do we really need React to build carousel or like button? Is it really needed always? Because here's the example from Astro documentation. Perfect vanilla JavaScript. I love it so much. It's clear. It's easy to write, very easy to read, and it will not bring any additional code to the browser, to the client. So why not? Astro is just cool. It can do this for you. But okay, this is on the client. Let's think about the superpower of React on the server. Yeah, maybe there is something that React can do for us on the server. And again, I was thinking about this, and only syntax, right? We don't do any asynchronous rendering on the server. At least I'm not going to do that. Come on, I'm just displaying words and images. Why do I need it? And moreover, this is still not a React application. It's some kind of framework cocktail. Yeah, so it doesn't work as a React application. Even Context API works really strange. I didn't try to use Redux there, because Astra suggests to use nano stores. Nano stores are good. Evil Martians, one love, guys. Thank you for great library. But again, this is still not a React application. It comes with unnecessary complexity from my point of view. Yeah, and this could have been done just like this. Just Astra. Astra is just cool. It can do it for you. So, what lessons? Again, next time, if I really want to use React, I will take React framework. Yeah, I will take Next.js. It also it's just good. Yeah. So, and it's more it's better integrated with React. Yeah. So how it impacted? Unnecessary code that's loaded to the client browser. Impact of the unnecessary complexity really hard for me to measure. And of course, the carbon footprint. Sometimes, like I am asking myself, don't we just like warming up the atmosphere? Really, Webpack, all those things, all those transformers, and I don't know. Greta Thunberg, she's chasing wrong guys. Yeah, so be careful. We started nowadays to think more about the carbon footprint. All right. I'm not saying, okay, I'm just one more time. I'm not saying React is bad. You don't need to use it. But really, if there was no React in my project, I think the project would be simpler, much simpler. Yeah, that's it. So think about this. And jQuery is still the best thing that was invented for web. I miss this so much. Mistake number 3. So many mistakes. Yeah, I'm talented guy. And this mistake is super architectural. It's something that only architect can do, I think. And this mistake is about the backend for frontends. For those who are not familiar with the pattern, backend for frontends, it's just architectural pattern that helps to integrate your frontends with big amount of services. It's a little middleware that you put in between, and this middleware will help you to integrate. Yeah. Those are mine ideas. So your frontends are integrated with just one service. Also, you can add caching, all the credentials safely stored on the BFF. Sometimes imagine you need to access some restricted service from your front-end application. You cannot send tokens from the front-end, right? Because somebody can steal it. So you store it in there. Also, it can be API gateway for you, and many more ideas under this pattern is good. We use it very frequently. And here's why I decided to pick it. Because you remember I was fighting for this npm start thing. You're a new developer, you came to a project, you just type npm start, it works. You can work with Astro, nothing else. You don't keep in mind everything which is not necessary. Of course, you provided some credentials into your environment variables, but that's much easier than dealing with a huge zoo of Docker containers. And even if you are a developer who works with backend for frontend because somebody needs to develop it, again, npm start, or if it's not JavaScript, then you run it with another single command and you are ready to work with that. So very easy. And all those services that you see on the diagram, those are solutions as a service, usually something deployed somewhere and needs only setup, like headless CMS, for example, or the search index. You don't need to run it locally. Also, as I said, credentials, very important part. For me, I cannot say I'm keen on the security things, but I have some background that makes me concerned about this, maybe more than needed. Yeah. And also, we are going to integrate with many services. Would be better to keep all the tokens, all the credentials on the BFF. Yeah. Also, everything sits behind BFF, and you might be integrated with external services through the queues. There might be cache in between. There might be multiple nodes of some service. Some service can be replaced sometime later after your project started. So your front end doesn't know anything about this. It talks only to your BFF and everything that like decorates everything that is going on behind the curtain. Yeah. So BFF, I thought it's very very, very good idea here. Yeah, very comfortable for me. And good question that I asked myself later after I decided to just apply popular pattern without thinking if I really need it, is that cannot Astro do the same? And let's think. Let's uh, let's look at my use cases again. So here's how we get a page from the browser. Yeah, browser from the server. Sorry, browser requests the page, and then server receives this request. It starts doing the hydration, and then it requests content items from BFF, and then BFF adds authentication header, and request goes to CMS as is. And CMS returns the content, and this content is being returned back to Astra as is. And this is what is going on in every my integration for now. I just sent request to BFF. It adds some authentication header. It just proxies the request. That's it. Nothing else. It doesn't do anything useful. And well, yes, this could be done by Astra, right? Because Astra sits on the server, and why do we need additional hop to the BFF? Because credentials are safely stored on the server. We do not add any credentials for the external systems from the client side. Yeah, and even if we need to access some JSON data, then we can create an endpoint. Astra provides us with a good feature that called endpoints. Then you can use those endpoints if you need. And again, you can request something from the client through Astra endpoint, which is basically kind of BFF here. And all you need for that is a session cookie. Yeah, so Astra server will authenticate you using session cookie, and then it will make a request on behalf of you, and still npm start. So don't know if BFF was a good idea here. And this is advantages of Astra over the BFF, external BFF. There is no additional complexity. Yeah, you just make all the requests from Astra to your external services. No additional infrastructure. I don't need to deploy it anywhere. I mean, only Astra, and that's it. And disadvantages, there are many. Yeah, okay, there are many disadvantages. Again, it's very hard to integrate with everything from this kind of application. So yeah, it might be better to have a middleware sometime, but maybe not now. Better to start from the simplest solution. And I don't want to say we should always use simplest solution. But I love really this tweet by Dr. Milan Milanovic, who said that monoliths are good enough for almost everything. Yes, I agree with that. And this is not about the monoliths, of course. I read it like this. So simplest solution always works. If you want to use something more, then you need to justify it, at least for yourself, not for others, for yourself. But I took BFF, to be honest, for no good reason, because all the things that I was telling you about, I didn't have, and I even my performance requirements, they were not that big. I mean, I'm not going to have millions of users, so not sure when scaling will be needed. So what I want is to just build and release that product for not that big audience, but I hope someday will be bigger. Yeah, and the principle here is to make right decision at the right moment of time. And I hope I'm not the one who hates principles like this, when somebody tells you something smart and you should understand yourself what is like single responsibility principle. Okay, single responsibility, interface segregation. Yeah, I'm all the time. I feel like I'm the most stupid person in the room. So please, can you can you explain me what does that mean? Show me examples. But I will show you examples so you can understand what do I mean. I understand that at every point of time I should look to my requirements now. Of course, I need to keep in mind something that's going to happen in future, but uh, better to be focused on what matters right now. And for example, what matters for me when the project starts? I want to release it faster and cheaper. So this is what I would do. I would not write something myself. I will use some SaaS solutions. I would try to keep it simple, and I would try to focus on the features, on my goals, not trying to build some super I don't know, super universal technology. Yeah. Later on, my project got bigger audience. Then I will be concerned about the performance, of course, and I would try to reduce my operational costs. So I think I will be thinking about something like this. Yeah, optimization, some secure REST patterns, maybe to address my performance needs like that. And when my project met more competitors, I will think about the new features better than my competitors have, or even maybe just a bigger quality of service, right? Better recommendations in my case. And I would think about, I don't know, if I cannot find solution on the market, I will write it. I will try to write it. But if I try to do that in the very beginning when my project is starting, then I will never release it, obviously, or it will be very expensive. And yes, BFF was a good idea, but not now. And actually, oh, sorry. Actually, I'm still flexible. I can add it later. I can really add it later. So, yeah. Here's the lesson that I learned, that I will think carefully before suggesting BFF to framework with server-side rendering. Yeah, like Astro, Next, or Next, they are good enough. They can do this work. Maybe not always needed. We are not always. Sorry, maybe we do not always need external BFF. Really, those frameworks, they can manage perfectly. Impact is huge, yeah, because already the documentation, the Astro application, it was written considering that there will be external BFF, so wasted a lot of time to just experimenting and finding out that okay, this is not something we want to use right now. We'll waste more time to do refactoring, of course. And you remember my initial principles: cheap, efficient, simple. Violated everything because was too focused on the future needs. Too focused. Yeah. Really sad, but we will fix that. Most important takeaway here is that mistakes will not happen to you only if you don't do anything, right? And sometimes it's fastest way to learn about something. You remember, we were children and we want to put fingers into a socket or try to bite something. We learned very quick just by trying. Sometimes it was painful, but it was super efficient. So I think that's fine. We are trying, we are doing something, we are getting more experience, we are learning. So it's okay. So don't need to be no need to be worried or upset about that. Yeah. But good thing is that I can share with you some outcomes of that. And of course, Astro is just cool. Absolutely love it. We'll be using it, experimenting with it. Super good. Super good. I want to say a few words in the end. I was using assistants while preparing to that presentation ChatGPT was helping me with jokes. Yeah, and so if some jokes are offensive, it's not me, it was ChatGPT. But if some jokes are funny, it was me. Yeah, because who those machines, they cannot make funny jokes. Yeah. Dali was helping me with the images, and our mascot was there, our assistant. You will see this assistant on our website. So many assistants, and this made me remember our old good friend Clippy, who was with us while we were doing our first step. So I want to dedicate this talk to our old good friend Clippy. Yeah, and that's it from my side for today. Thank you so much for joining one more time. I will switch to the tab with comments, and we'll see if you have any questions for me so I can answer. Yeah. I hope you haven't fallen asleep yet. And let me check if we have anything. Oh, Codeberry Club. Yeah, I will, Andrei. I will come. I will come for sure to Codeberry Club. There, I think we can talk more deeply about the Astra, about its capabilities. Yeah. Today I was trying to entertain, people a little bit, tell a story, but in the Codeberry Club we can talk more about the capabilities, or can talk more about the pitfalls, many strange issues we faced with because of Vite. This is the building tool. This is a bundler, of that Astro is using, and Vue is using it also. Yeah. So we'll be happy. About the new version of Astra, I haven't tried yet, unfortunately. So I think it will be cool, because the previous one was cool. I read release notes, but be honest with you, cannot answer right now. I haven't tried it, but we are going to migrate, of course. Yeah, we're going to migrate. I remember there was something. Oh yeah, there was something related to localizations, right? To locales. So this is what I want to try as soon as possible, because I am happy, okay, with the approach that we are using for the localization, but would be good if there is something bigger, something better, because it generates some code on our behalf. I don't like this, so we'll see. And not many questions. Not that many questions. Okay, that's good. That's good to me. Oh, oh, really? What is headless CMS? Well, yeah. So headless CMS is that you can Google for Strapi, Content Stack, Contentful. It's like a traditional CMS. If you're familiar with Drupal, or my God, I don't want to say this, WordPress, for example. Yeah, WordPress is popular. It's a monolithic tool where you have a public UI that shows your content, and you have admin UI where your content editor can create new pages, write content, upload images. So just add content to your website. Yeah, and this is traditional CMS. Usually it's monolithic. You have everything at once. Headless CMS is just a tool where you create content models. I imagine it's like a database, but with a nice UI. Yeah, it's kind of database. So you create tables for your content. For example, table with articles, and it has columns like title, text, something else, description, author, body, which is a big column with text like Markdown. And that's it. And it gives you this content by the API. So you can use it on the website, you can use this content inside the mobile application, for example. Yeah, this is what headless CMS. Content management system, but without front end. Only the UI that allows you to create content, and you can consume it through the API. That's a very popular thing right now, and actually nice idea. Yeah. Hey, Sonic Walk, I hope you my answer was clear for you. So if not, then ping me somewhere. I will show you. And okay, actually, if you want to know more about the headless CMS and how we use it, go to the videos in the JavaScript Competency Center channel, and there was my previous talk from the previous year about the headless CMS and how it works and how to integrate it with the front end. Yeah, and also there is code examples you can use if you're interested in it. Okay, anything else? Yeah, not that many. Well, guys, then won't be taking your time anymore. One more time, thank you so much for being with me today. It's like maybe people think that conferences or meetups they made by speakers for the people, but actually it's vice versa. I think people who are coming to listen my bad English in my very random thoughts, those people are making meetups and conferences for us. So again, thank you so much for this great opportunity for me to share my story with you. Wishing you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance to you and to everybody who you love. Take care, be safe. So yeah, love, peace, and rock and roll, guys. Bye bye.